Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Pitches Pixels, where we talk about new movies every week. I'm Rohan, that's Kevin, and today we're going to be talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, which
So
is
were we talking about K-pop that are demon hunters, or just like K-pop and demon hunters? Like it's two different things. No,
yeah,
we're talking about the movie.
which the title is, I feel like, very self-explanatory in terms of what the movie is about. It is about K-pop stars who are also demon hunters, and they have to, the music actually works or them being K-pop stars is actually essential to the plot because their music prevents people from becoming demons,
hmm
while they use like magic and fighting to actually kill the demons that are entering the demon from the demon realm to Earth.
Yeah, I think it's like the Kwame or something.
Yeah.
hmm
And then Gigima, he's like the king of the demons that they have to defeat. Um, but yeah, so it's very funny because I first heard of this movie a while ago, and I suggested that you watch it a
hmm
little bit as a joke, honestly, because we were both like, yeah, this movie's gonna be terrible. And then I saw that the reviews were really good.
hmm
I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And all right, I was just making sure the music's not being picked up. And um, and then and then I was like, all right, well, let me check it out. And I loved it quite a bit. And then I kind of kept bringing it up like basically every day. I was bugging. I was probably annoying you a lot by how much I mentioned this movie, and then you finally watched it. So, what did you think?
Well, first, I think it's interesting you mentioned you thought that I would dislike it. Or like we thought this would be terrible. I didn't necessarily get that impression. I think the problem is just it's a Netflix original animation.
Yeah.
They're pretty bad at marketing their stuff, and so I didn't really see much promotion for this. It just kind of dropped,
Yep.
and then people started talking about it, and it was getting reviewed, and I was like, oh, okay. I had actually heard of this movie before it was in 2022. It was
Oh, really?
planned for a 2023 release, yeah. So I knew this movie was coming. I just didn't know where it went. It
Hmm.
just kind of just disappeared and then dropped.
Yeah, I wonder why it got such a late release.
Not sure. I do think potentially the animation could have delayed it, like the
Mhm.
style, because it's very much in line with the same style that we've been seeing with like Sony animation.
Yeah.
Like it's very much in the style. Yeah.
It gives me the what if Spider-Verse had like a fifth of the budget that it actually
Yeah.
has, and that's what it is, which I've been noticing a lot of animated movies, especially on Netflix,
Uh-huh.
or like, streaming animated movies with this kind of animation style.
hmm
Mitchell's vs. the Machines also had a very similar animation style.
Yeah. It did. And I mean that was also I think direct to
Yep.
Netflix. Just different company. This is the same guy who made Wish Dragon, um, which was not a particularly great movie.
Oh,
So I did have a little bit of low expectations, but I had a lot of fun with it. That it was really action packed. It has great
yeah,
music. It's fun. It's funny. And it has really memorable characters. Like it doesn't waste time
yeah,
trying to cram in stuff. Like every character, every main character I can think of, like I can picture them all in my head.
yeah.
And so I think that that's
Mhm.
a pretty good. It's got a great story for that reason. Like, it's very memorable.
Yeah, I agree. And when we talk about the main characters, it is it's a three bandmates. There's Rumi, who is basically the lead singer, but also the lead of this movie.
hmm
And then Mira and Zoe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Um, I feel like they they don't really have. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I definitely saw this movie a couple weeks before you did. Um, they don't really. It's not like one of them is a singer, one of them is guitar, one of them is.
Yeah.
There, it's kind of like Rumi's the lead singer, but then Mira and Zoe they also kind of just sing.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the difference is a band versus a group, right?
Right.
K-pop groups, they are mainly just like an assembly of people who sing or do vocal performances. Like they're
Right.
not, no, I don't think there's a member of BTS who, I'm sure they play instruments, but they don't play it in their
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
So K-pop groups, they are pretty much just like idols singing.
Yep.
And then bands are like they will have instruments.
Got it. Yeah. And then uh, so you have. So I actually like this dynamic because you are primarily following Rumi, but you're primarily following Rumi, and the interesting thing about her is she is half demon,
Hmm.
because her father was a demon, and she's also human, and she kind of keeps this covered up because in the beginning of the she's always wearing like a jacket or um, something with
Yeah.
full sleeves.
Did you notice the detail like early, like they had already revealed the demon part, but they were like, "Oh, why don't you want to come to the bathhouse with us?"
Yeah,
It's because she's going to show skin, and so
yeah,
it would obviously reveal her secret. So,
yeah, and she's very closely. She's kind of guarding this. It is
hmm.
very much. I mean, she's scared to tell anybody about it, including um, Mira and Zoe, who are well, they're her bandmates slash fellow performers of technically a group, right?
Uh-huh.
But also her best friends. But she's still like, they're not gonna accept me. Um,
Hmm.
and I think this was kind of a compelling story arc, especially when you get into the lyrics of the music, like when they're writing Takedown.
Hmm.
The lyrics that they're suggesting is like, hey, the demon, and I can't remember exactly, but the demon marks and stuff like that. And it's very much like, yeah, those are
Yeah.
bad. And she's kind of pushing back. And um, even though they make the song Takedown, it's very clear that she is not really feeling the negativity.
Yeah, I mean it's striking a chord
Yeah,
with her, no music pun intended.
yeah,
But she knows the lyrics are technically about her.
yeah,
So there's almost this dynamic of like if I'm writing this about my people, who am I really
yeah,
to say? And I think that that kind of brings up that kind of segues into the K-pop boy group.
yeah. The
So,
demon group, which I think is a fantastic like idea, where the
mhm.
demons are like, hey, let's just create a rival K-pop group with a bunch of men um, that go viral off of the song Soda Pop,
Uh-huh.
which I listen to a lot. It strikes that perfect balance of like this is a great song, but it's also kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So it's like you get why um you get why Rumi and all of Huntrix,
Hmm.
that's their group name, why they
Yeah.
would be annoyed by this song.
And I do think that part of it is like they all fill up the obnoxious stereotypes of
Yeah.
the boy band. I mean, there's the mysterious, brooding guy, the
Yep.
one who's supposed to be like all about love, the like young one and like the older one. Like
Yeah.
they've got a lot of the key dynamics, but they're all really funny. I think if I had a problem with the movie, it's that they don't get enough screen time. They kind of don't. They
Right.
kind of like fall off.
Other than the lead singer Junie.
Yeah, Junie is
Yeah.
the main one. And I think it's like it's not really deuteragonist. He's more of like an anti-hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he is very much entwined with Junie or with Rumi.
Rumi. Yeah.
And Junie is essentially trying to free himself from
Yeah.
Hema, and the whole deal with him is that he basically like abandoned his family, basically,
Yeah.
and that's why he's kind of like repenting. He's like trying to figure
Yeah.
out how can I redeem myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but their demon like history like is connecting them
Yep.
together, and that's kind of causing this friction between Rumi and her friend group, and then him and the main
Yeah.
villain.
And
Yeah.
that's kind of why him and Rumi are they're kind of able to connect, because they have something shared where
Hmm.
um both of them feel that they do not belong where they are currently. Like Junie, he's technically a demon because he made that deal with Gima and he abandoned his family, but he feels regret for it. He doesn't actively like crave to do evil the way the other
Hmm.
demons do. He wants redemption, like you said.
Yeah.
Um, so he looks to someone else, and it's Rumi who she's a demon hunter, but then she's also part demon, so she feels that she doesn't fully belong in
Hmm.
her group with Mira and Zoe.
Hmm.
So that is why they kind of establish a relationship,
Hmm.
which um I think that brings me to my issue with the movie. It's not necessarily an issue, because at the end, because you're supposed to judge a movie for what it is and not what
Uh-huh.
you think it could be. I almost wonder though, allegorically, if this would have been this would have been more powerful as a queer story because it is kind of like an allegory for that because it's her. It's
Hmm.
almost like a coming out story, like in a way.
Yeah, because I think, well, it's sort of difficult because they're
Yeah.
trying to do two different things, right? They want to paint some demons as evil and soul sucking, and then they want to paint some demons as like
Hmm.
regretful and everything. I think part of the problem that you're bringing up is that I think it's like only one character, one demon out of everyone else
Yeah.
is like that.
Hmm.
Kind of feel like that's a little bit of a stretch. Surely there's
Yeah.
someone else who's feeling like they're not brainwashed by Kima. Like
Yeah.
surely he's not the only one. I think that it does work as a queer story, but I do think that it doesn't really work because they're trying so hard to make like the monsters like
Yeah.
bad too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, yeah, the relationship between Rumi and Junie, it's definitely more than like just friends.
yeah,
Like
because
they,
it
they
would
definitely like
ruin.
each other.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm saying like I'm saying that you kind of have that
Uh-huh.
allegory, kind of like how with Frozen, with Elsa and that being the popular fan theory, which the director kind of confirmed,
Hmm.
in an interview, where she is, Elsa is not straight,
Hmm.
and I think that could have also worked because you do have that whole allegory, even in the songs. I mean, Golden, there is lines about like again, I can't remember the exact lyrics, but stuff like "I'm done hiding,"
Hmm.
and being yourself. Uh, what it sounds like is my voice without the lies. This is what it sounds like. So I think it could have I think it could have worked. And but again, that is me more saying like, oh, I wish they did this, and not necessarily a criticism of the movie.
I almost wonder if it might actually be related to North and South Korea. Because
Potentially.
like it's more about like bloodline, right? So
Right.
it's like you're not naturally a like a South
Oh,
Korean or
that's
because
interesting. I
you're
didn't even think
living
of that.
in
Mhm.
this area. So I
Yeah.
thought potentially maybe that's where it's being
Yeah, where
drawn.
the demon world is North Korea.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's actually that's a really interesting interpretation that I didn't even think of.
right. But remember, I'm also white and stupid, so I could be completely wrong. Um, but yeah.
Mhm.
What other so actually going back to just other I guess my last like criticism I have for the movie, so that we can talk more positive,
Yeah,
is I felt that it was either it was like the sister or the mom character that helped raise her,
yeah.
that kind of gave her all of this information about basically why Rumi feels the need to hide it from her friends.
Hmm.
Um, I just felt like that whole part was kind of clunky. She kind of
Yeah, it
ends up at her
was.
place and then she's back in the
It was,
world. It,
yeah.
it felt so strange to see how that all worked. And I know that there's magic in the movie, like the magic cat, who's really cute.
I love the magic cat. It reminded me of reminds you of the tiger in Aladdin.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and it's got a
The
nice
bird
yellow, the
also.
bird, yeah.
Yeah, but then the hat is meant for the bird, but the cat always steals it or something like that.
No, yeah, the hat's meant for the cat,
Oh, okay,
but the
right.
bird steals it.
Got it.
Well, because he made a bird-sized hat. What did you think was gonna happen? Um, But yeah, I just thought that part also was a little bit clunky, but
Yeah,
everything else for me, the movie really works.
yeah.
I want to ask like what would be your favorite like set piece? Was it more like an action scene or a seeing scene? Like what would you come away?
It's definitely the singing scenes. Honestly, I know
Mhm.
that there are action scenes. The only two that I remember are at the very beginning with the airplane, and
Yeah.
then there's a train fight sequence.
Yeah. Hmm.
They're both cool, but the music scenes, that's where the movie I think really
Hmm.
shines. I think it's so tough to pick a favorite. But I think there's like I think I would say there's two. I loved when during the big competition thing when she starts singing Golden. Um,
Hmm.
it just felt like an awesome moment, which unfortunately ends up being torn away from her when they have the reveal that it's a fake Mira and Zoe
Yeah.
singing with her. But when she was singing Golden, I was like, this is amazing.
Hmm.
And when it switched to Takedown, it was tragic. And I'm cheating here, but I also really, really love uh, the Saja voice performance of Your Idol.
Yeah.
It was just so great.
I thought that you said something to me before we recorded, which was that you thought that one was better after you heard it a second
Yeah,
time, and I agree. I also like that song
yeah, Your
a lot more
Idol.
the second time.
It didn't stand out to me the first time I watched the movie.
Hmm.
I think I was just invested in. I was just so invested in Rumi,
Hmm.
Mira, and Zoe like making up as a friends group that I wasn't paying attention to how just awesome that song is.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah, I really like the first song and fight scene, like where it kind of like blended together. Like
yeah,
they started singing on the airplane and
hmm,
fighting the demons, and then the demons end up in the concert
uh
with them, and they're just taking selfies with
huh,
them. I thought that was really funny, and
yeah.
I thought that the fight scenes with there were really cool. I almost wish that the bathhouse scene that is where we got to see the Saja boys fight and
Oh
win.
yeah,
If they beat them, I think it would have made them more formidable.
hmm,
But instead, they're like, no, we're gonna have the demons fight. And
yeah,
yeah, so I just kind of went. And I think that that's the only thing is like I wanted more from the. It feels very much like Wade all on the Huntrix group, and
yeah,
like that works.
hmm.
Especially because I think we haven't really talked about them, but Mira and Zoe I think are really funny, and
Oh
they're my
yeah.
favorite parts of the film, both of them.
Oh really?
Yeah, I really love. Well, I love Mira confronting Rumi, in the bedroom and being like, "Hey, like, what is up with you?" And then she's trying to hide the cat the whole time.
That was hilarious.
Zoe, I just think is really funny. Like, she's like,
Well, Zoe's fantastic. Yeah,
yeah, like she seems like the real glue of the group because she's the
yeah.
one who's like, "I'll defend Rumi to Mira, but I'll be besties with Mira and do everything that she
Yeah.
wants to do."
And I love how Zoe is like low key crushing on the Sacha boys
Yeah,
when well obviously Rumi is like secretly dating Judy and then
yeah.
Mira is like, oh, I hate these guys. Like I don't want to ever see them again. And Zoe's like, yeah, but also they're kind of cute.
I really enjoy her character, and I think the animation, like the expressiveness of their faces was a great choice. I saw some criticism of
Yeah,
that online.
I just don't. Yeah, whatever. I
It's
find
like
it also. Yeah.
like they're saying like the oh it's like reactions for Twitter, but it's like would you rather it be bland
Yeah.
and have no
Um.
facial expression? Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
It kind of reminded me of anime, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know both of us like anime, so I think that's why
Hmm.
it works for us.
Hmm.
But I guess a lot of people want the classic '90s Pixar style.
Well, I mean, not real. I mean, I guess so. It's just no one's showing up to Pixar movies, so
Yeah. I mean, there's
guess.
nothing wrong with that style, but I'm like, hey, technology has advanced. It allows us to have human characters be more expressive. And I think
Hmm.
there's a reason why there was less human-centric Pixar movies.
Hmm.
Um, but but um, but now we can have more expressiveness. So, like you said, why not? So I have a I have a question for you, which
Right.
is, what is your favorite song or songs if you can't choose?
Uh, I'm gonna say my top three
Okay,
are Golden. I
Golden's amazing.
I just really enjoyed Golden. Like I thought that it was the best like written song, and I guess
Yeah.
the best performed.
Hmm.
I think this is what it sounds like.
I love that song also.
It really comes like in the like best part
Oh
of
yeah.
the movie. And then I'm gonna say Soda Pop. It's just catchy, it's
Oh,
fun,
okay.
it's stupid, and I think it's a great introduction song to
Yeah.
them.
So yeah, I think if I were to do, well, you did three, so I'll do my top three also.
Hmm.
Golden and what it sounds like are definitely there. I
Hmm.
think the only, and I agree with you for every reason. I think they're also super thematically
Yeah.
interesting and just emotional. Um,
Hmm.
but I think I think I'm gonna swap Soda Pop for Your Idol.
Yeah.
I think Your Idol has the best kind of chorus that
Mhm.
of all of them. And it's just something that is a song that I've probably been listening to the most for the past like 2 or 3 days.
Mhm.
I tend to go through ever since I watched the movie and I started listening to the album. It's kind of been like I've been listening to like
That's
one
your
song a
go-to.
lot, and then
Yeah.
like 2 3 days later, it's like I started listening to one, and it's like oh my god, this one's so good. And right now that's Your Idol for me. Soda Pop is fantastic though, as well. Like I said, it's just so catchy and
Mhm.
so um but also it just has that hint of annoyingness that's necessary for the plot
Mhm.
of the movie. It reminds me of the song in Turning Red a little bit.
Oh, the Four Town song?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what the name of it is, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a they're basically Four Town but grown up.
Yeah.
Who would win?
Sergeant Boys 100%.
Yeah, I think there were many points that this movie reminded me of Turning Red because of the climax and also like a lot of dealing with like your
Yeah.
family. There was like a lot of ties to
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Oh, I think before we move on to like ratings and all that, one last thing is um with this movie, I think when you do a movie about music, you kind of have to nail the music
Mhm.
because there's so many movies that I have seen where you have like a pop star who's big and then they do their performance and it's like the song is like whatever
Uh-huh.
and I just don't buy that this person is such a big phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like the music has to be really, really good. And in this case, both with the Saja Boy songs and the Huntrix songs, it's like, yes, I buy why Huntrix is an awesome band, and I also buy why Saja Boys would gather a big fan base so quickly because the songs are actually really good.
No, yeah, I thought it was very believable, and it is pretty much the thing that like holds the movie together. Like if your songs are bad, then you will not have
Yep.
a hit movie. I think that's partially why there are a lot like when you look at the Disney movies that are not popular, a lot
Yeah.
of them have the worst soundtracks, and it's because they don't have anything going for them. When there's a big hit, like Frozen, I think was their last big grand hit. I mean,
Yeah.
they had so many songs
Yeah.
in there that were like
Exactly.
really high on the charts, and I think K-pop Demon Hunters is on the same
Yeah.
track.
Hmm.
Which actually, before we move on to ratings, I want to know what do you think is the future for this movie? I feel like I could see it getting a spin-off TV show or even a sequel movie.
Hmm.
I guess like both what would you expect and then what would you prefer?
Um, it, in terms of, I guess, in terms of expect, I would say just another sequel movie.
Hmm.
Probably stick to Netflix.
Yeah.
I that said, either one of them, I'd be down with. The only thing is, like, I still want the Huntrix, the three,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, it's like even if a movie two comes out and the movie is kind of like
Hmm.
but the songs are great, like they released another awesome album, it's worth it.
Yeah. I feel like I would also expect a sequel movie.
Yeah.
I almost hope that they switch the protagonist. They make it Mira or
Oh, that'd be
Zoe,
cool.
and then probably would be like a rival girl group
Maybe, yeah.
instead.
Mhm.
So instead of like Twice, who's
Yeah.
canonically in the universe for
Yeah.
some reason, it's probably like another made up
Yeah.
demon, or maybe they don't know if they're demon or not. Maybe it's a different
Right.
thing. Maybe it's not a demon. Maybe it's like a something else
Hmm.
from their culture. So.
Yeah. I would love the Sacha boys to somehow return.
Yeah, and I feel like they'll be good,
Yeah.
right? Like I feel like there's no purpose for them to be
Yeah.
bad if Junie is like leading them in a good
Yeah.
direction.
It's like the classic video game where it's like you play game one and then in game two the boss of game one becomes an ally. It'll be like that.
In Kentucky Hitman Reborn, what's the name of the family? The
The Varia.
the
Yeah.
Varia. They're like the Varia.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
coming back.
I want the Sacha boys to be the Varia of K-pop.
So let's move on to ratings.
Yeah. So here on the Pages to Pixels podcast, the way we do ratings is on the script coverage scale. There is pass when we think a movie is not so good. consider when we think it's decent and recommend when we think it is above average to great. Um, as a reminder, this is not a recommendation, it's just how we score things here. So, with that said, how do you score K pop Demon Hunters?
I'm gonna give it a recommend. I considered strong consider, but I think ultimately I just had such a fun time with it. I can't think of like I can't the things that bump for me do not bother me. I
Right.
think the songs and the expressive animation and the fight scenes and just the fun of it all make it worth it. And
Hmm.
there's just some extra stuff in there that I feel like the creators of it had a lot of detail and
Hmm.
passion for it. Um, yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah, I agree. This is an easy recommend for me. It's the biggest surprise of the year. It's just filled with so much heart, so much fun, and like great music. I know this is
Hmm.
technically not we're not doing recommendations, but if I were to recommend this movie to others, I just can't imagine. I just can't imagine very many people being like, "Oh, I watched the movie, it was bad."
Yeah.
Um, it's yeah, I think it's an awesome movie that like everyone would. That I think like just most of everyone would like, including myself.
Hmm. What else have you been watching lately?
Yeah, so I've been watching The Pit. Um, I heard about this show a while ago, but I never really checked it out because, if I'm being honest, I'm not big into the medical dramas. I
Hmm.
find them to be little repetitive, um, and sometimes even a bit silly. Now I don't know how accurate The Pit is.
Yeah.
If I'm not a doctor, but it definitely feels more it feels more grounded. And it's really interesting because it's like it does feel like House meets 24 in a sense, where every episode is an hour. So it's episode
Hmm.
one is seven. It starts at 7 a.m. and then episode two is 8 a.m. Episode three is 9 a.m.
Oh.
And it covers one. It's 15 episodes and it covers one shift um in an emergency room. It just recently got an Emmy nomination, and it's really great. The acting's great. The characters are great. I was very pleasantly surprised by the show.
Yeah, I've seen some clips on Twitter. I've meant to. I've been thinking of checking out. I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I'm not a big fan of the medical procedure shows,
Hmm.
but that does sound really interesting. I didn't know it had that 24
Yeah.
element.
Hmm.
Yeah, I will put it on my watch list.
Yeah. It's on HBO Max.
Oh,
Finally brought HBO back in the name.
oh yeah. So now we finally can call it HBO Max, which we've all
I've
been
always been
calling it.
calling it that. Yeah, that and Twitter is like the only form of dead naming I support.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to keep that in there. I'm like, you're gonna decide.
yeah. No, I will check it out. I have been watching, or I just watched the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. It was a reboot of the 1997 movie, um, with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And they're back in this movie, kind of like Scream style. It's a slasher movie,
Mhm.
that focuses on a group of like young 20 somethings who did something bad in the summer, and then they are a year later they're being hunted down and killed for it. Um, I was not a fan of this movie, unfortunately. I really enjoy the original. It's not perfect. It's not my favorite slasher, but it's written by Kevin Williamson, who I'm a huge fan of,
Hmm.
because he also wrote Scream. But with this movie, I felt like the beginning was really solid. It had a great it had a great flow. The characters were funny. They were involved. Like it felt like there was smart things happening, dumb things happening, but it was like a
Yeah.
good horror balance. And then about after the midpoint, certain actions happen, and it kind of just doesn't fall in the footsteps of the original. The original movie has a bunch of chase scenes that are really memorable and iconic and really elaborate. They utilize this small like North Carolina fishing town
Yeah.
as the setting, and I've been to those towns. I've been to the Outer Banks. I've been to the Emerald Isle. This movie just doesn't do it. They
Right.
kind of try to make it about like gentrification.
Yeah.
The majority of the cast is white, so like I don't know what point they're trying to make, but oh yeah, they use the word gentrification
Yeah.
in it. uh, it's just not. it's not the direction I would have taken the movie. Another creator I follow called Zach Cherry, he literally called it a fan fiction.
Oh,
I would describe this movie as fan fiction.
yeah.
And if you watch it and you've watched the original, you would understand why. So yeah, not a fan, but I guess check it out if you want to see
Yeah.
uh, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt give a passable performance. Oh, that was so mean. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's it for this week's episode of the Pages to Pixels podcast. I'm Kevin,
And I'm Rohan.
and we'll see you next week with another episode. Thank you.
Thank you.